Hey, friends! So, the Metaverse, am I right? It's not a new idea, despite what Mark Zuckerberg would have us believe. No, the idea of virtual reality, cyberspace, or the Metaverse has been around since computers went mainstream. There are lots of shows and movies that feature VR. You see it in an episode of Sequest DSV. Chris Carter of the X-Files fame made a short-lived series based on VR. Oliver Stone's Wild Palms has VR. Tech War by William Shatner has VR. And the 2021 anime Belle, which I reviewed recently, features a virtual reality simulation people can enter and there live an alternate digital life. Heck, there's even an episode of Mad About You where Helen Hunt meets Andre Agassi in a VR simulation. She put her hand in his pants too. well, his pants pocket anyway. But she did it. So Sucky is well behind the curve on this one, and nothing he's come up with has realized the promise of any of those Hollywood versions of virtual reality. In Sucky's Metaverse, you don't even have legs. But in all of the shows and movies about VR, one has stood practically alone in its exploration of cyberspace. The Lawnmower Man from 1992, a horror sci-fi blend ostensibly written by Stephen King, which is a weird mixture of Flowers for Algernon and Demon Seed. Our story goes like this. Remington Steele is a scientist working on a VR project for a secret government agency, and he's unhappy. Despite all of his advancements in his field, neither his work life nor his marriage is going well. Up to now, he's been working with chimps to develop them as weapons via virtual reality simulations, basically turning them into cyborgs. But using too much of the drug treatments he has causes the chimps to chimp out, and they become too aggressive, even leading to killing some security guards. Now Brosnan wants to rejigger his formulas and try them on a human because, after all, he didn't start out to make weapons, he wanted to use VR to help people. So he takes some time off from the lab. This is where he meets Joe, a simple-minded lawn care worker with cognitive issues. Just the kind of guy Brosnan set out to help in the first place. Job is a ward of the local church, and it's implied the priest there has been doing more to Job than making him mow the lawn. If you know what I mean. Job's only friend is his fellow lawn care guy, and this kid he's befriended, Brosnan's next-door neighbor. Brosnan throws ethics out the window and starts giving Job treatments which involve drugs and VR in order to expand Job's cognitive abilities. Everything's great and it seems to work, until it all goes utters up, as they say down on the farm. Suddenly, Job is having telepathic and telekinetic spasms, and then the government guys swap out Brosnan's drugs for the original violence-inducing chimp drugs. Before anyone knows it, Job has gone completely round the twist and gotten a god complex, deciding to take over the world. And his new powers make that disturbingly possible. Can Remington Steele save the day and redeem himself? Will he and the world have to surrender to this man-made monster? Can Job be rescued from himself? Despite being branded as a Stephen King story, this really isn't one. There is a short story by King called Lawnmower Man, but the studio pretty much just kept the title and a few random elements from King's work and still wanted to use his name. They just grafted it onto another project they had in the works called Cyber God. King was pissed off and wanted his name taken off the project, but the studio refused, and that led to lawsuits and other problems. King won some money. In our cast, we have Pierce Brosnan, of course, and Jeff Fahey plays Job. He also played Ike Clanton in Wyatt Earp, and has been in a lot of stuff over his career. He's still working, too. He's really good in this. Geoffrey Lewis is here. He was in Salem's Lot and just about everything else in the 70s and 80s. Jeremy Slate plays the abusive priest. He starred in a lot of things, notably with John Wayne in True Grit and The Sons of Katie Elder. He was on hand at Normandy. That's right, he served on a battleship that was just off Omaha Beach on D-Day. Now, it's gotta be said that Brosnan is not really a hero here. Basically, he's Dr. Frankenstein. Old Doc Frank started out with noble ideals, right? He wanted to help mankind by unlocking the secrets of life so men didn't have to die. But then he got all obsessed and went too far. And before he knew it, he had created a monster. Same thing happens to Brosnan. Believe it or not, well, these graphics look super cheesy today. They were cutting edge at the time Lawnmower Man came out. It took 8 months to animate all of the CGI in the picture. Today, graphics on this level would take like, what, a week, right? Good for their time, though. Director Brett Leonard went on to make another VR project 3 years later with 1995's Virtuosity, starring Denzel Washington. One thing that struck me watching this again is how little we've actually advanced when it comes to VR. I mean, the headsets used here in 1992 don't look all that different from the VR headsets used today. And the VR worlds we have in 2022 just kinda suck. They don't look cool at all. And unless it were like the virtual world shown in Bell, why would anyone want the Metaverse? I'm giving The Lawnmower Man 2¼ paws up. It introduces the concept of VR in an easily accessible way, and it broke at least some new ground with the graphics depicting cyberspace. This one's okay. It's not really top shelf or anything, but it's pretty good. You can watch my review of another virtual reality story, Bell, here. And down there, you can watch more reviews of science fiction movies. You take care of yourselves, and I'll see you in the next one.